I think when people usually ask me where I'm from, I typically say southern Wisconsin. And then I launched into this
originally
story.
from Hawaii. I grew up on the Great Mountain.
I'm originally from China.
Houston, Texas, and I guess I should specify I'm from a suburb called Sugar Land, Texas.
It's called Belgium,
I'm
Wisconsin.
born in London.
I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri.
I'm from Menominee
I'm
Falls,
from
Wisconsin.
a town called Waukesha, Wisconsin.
I am from Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
I'm from Laos, Xian Quang, Laos, Northern Laos.
Which is where my parents are from.
So I was born on the south side of Madison.
Beijing, China.
I say I'm originally from India.
Yeah, so originally from Michigan,
it's hard to
going back
say
many generations. My mom is 100% German,
But the other thing is, like,
and my dad is
Filipino,
a
his
blend of
parents came from
European heritage also, but it's a little more.
My dad is Vietnamese, so he's like 100% Vietnamese. My mom came from Laos, but she's actually not Laotian. Her father is an ethnic Chinese.
From a small town in Iowa.
On my
and
dad's
father
side,
is from a
we
very
are
small town,
English,
Banda Emir in Iran. They met in Colorado Springs at a bar. My dad was going to school there, and my mom was there working.
My mom is from Bosnia, and my dad is from Ghana. My mom came to the U.S. shortly, like in the 90s, right after the Balkan Wars. She was a refugee. She came with my
My
older
dad's side,
brother.
I'm from the USA. He's Swedish and Latvian and
Yeah, so my father's side, my dad's family is Italian American. They're Sicilian. I guess Sicilians like have a lot of regional pride, so a lot of them will say like I'm not Italian, I'm Sicilian. So I guess that's.
She was born here, but both of her parents were Asian.
But they immigrated into Galveston, Texas, which is about an hour outside.
And then her dad, long line of Madisonians. Finally was able to Brook Street is named after my family. Rowley Avenue is named after my family. We actually used to own a bunch of land.
When people think about Wisconsin, they always
actually like Italian mafia in the South.
Yeah, my family has a long history of that. My
Swamp mafia bosses that like ran a speakeasy
places
like
where
a
people
my
grandfather who was killed in World War II and my grandmother met here. Like they live over. They used to live over.
Heritage.
Like his, I think his picture is in like the
Dad
Randall.
immigrated here
Poland,
from Germany. My
and
Irishness,
a
my
really
middle name is
nebulous
actually
period of
Caylin,
history
which
where technically it's
corresponds
Alsace
to
Lorraine,
a place
but
in
some members of the
Ireland
family
and
claim that as
where there
being
isn't
German and
really
some claim it as
things written
being
down, which I think is fascinating. I think about the privilege in a sense of like knowing your history, of knowing that like there's a lot in being able to say where you're from and being able to connect those dots.
Because my family never put so much importance
Usually some sort
on
of
it,
stability
at least
in
my
being
parents,
able to be in a place.
We know very
because
little about my mother's side. My great-great-grandfather,
but
great-great-great-grandfather
it definitely
came
made me
here
examine more
in the
closely
late 90s.
that relationship that I have with those labels and cultural ties, and it kind of made me not sad, but just like curious as to why some of those traditions were let go. Or
my dad immigrated from Iran, so you know, people are just really curious about his story all of the time. So it's just sort of a common thing that comes up. I don't know. My dad really embraced being in America. So truthfully, we don't have a lot of things from his family, you know, and a lot of traditions from that culture. Like I kind of wish we had more, but he really sort of, you know, kind of left it.
I don't know, I feel like a lot of times, especially like recently, I low-key dissociate myself from being American. I can't really say I've felt American because I mean I've been in the US.
I think I always think of my Chinese since I was born, so I always think I'm Chinese and never thought that I'm not a Chinese. So I feel like now I'm in the middle. Not 100%
Used by racial
belong to either
as an identifier, but
China
like,
or
I think mixed
or
might
United
be
States.
the more
I don't know why I belong.
accurate term, just because like so many things in my upbringing were just mixed, and like I don't really know where some things come from. Even if someone's white or someone has like darker skin, everyone's like, oh cool, so what are you mixed with? Like tell me about your heritage, like who are your parents?
I said, I'm more English than him. What do you mean? He was born in Greece. But you're saying because of his optics makes him
English, and me not English. And I'm like, so if I cannot tell a white person in Jamaica that he's not Jamaican, then nobody can tell me. I don't care who they are. If they think that I'm not British or they think I'm English, that's on them. I know who I am, and I know who I tell my kids that they should be. I'm born in England, I'm English. I know my parents come from Jamaica. So my ancestors came from Nigeria. I know exactly my history. So for me, I have no doubt defining my identity.